so much. They got nothing to say. Some people got the right words and they're what we need to hear.
I love your jacket.
I know.
you.
I was
This
looking at the
blazer
shoulders.
is amazing.
It's everything.
Yes, it's giving me Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation.
That's so epic. I love it.
I love it. So I might.
And you know
borrow
she
that one
totally
of these
stole it
days.
from her brother. Like she asked her
Oh,
brother,
yes.
"Can I take like the whole?"
Did she actually?
She asked
Ah,
Michael.
Oh,
Oh,
she did.
And she
I
killed
didn't know
it. Yeah, because you know
It was
it's
perfect.
Michael too.
And it's so funny. I
Right?
was just watching a video this morning with Sierra dancing to like Janet Jackson.
Oh,
Yes,
really?
well, that's her inspiration
Yeah.
for sure.
And then she
Yes,
popped
I
out with
love
this
it.
jacket.
It's really nice though. For another night, another OOTD.
You girls ready?
Yes.
Ready? Let's
Yes.
get into it. Alrighty. So, what is the biggest lesson you've learned from your biggest heartbreak?
Oh no.
I love how everyone exhaled like, like it
Okay,
was so draining.
Okay. I'll let you guys start.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually just experienced my biggest heartbreak, I feel.
Oh.
Like, the guy who I'm in love with, I told him I'm in love with him. And basically his answer, like, basically the whole story is like I hadn't talked to him in a long time. Because I tried to let him go
Okay.
like, earlier this year.
Okay.
But then I kind of just ran into him on the street and I was like, oh.
Oh my God.
And then I just, like, a few weeks after that, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to tell him, you know? Like, how I feel.
Yes.
And basically, so I told him, like, everything, like, I'm in love with you. Like, when we met, I just felt like we were perfect for each other. I feel like you're my other half, like, all this stuff. And he answered me kind of like a few weeks after. He was like, so sorry I haven't responded. Sorry I'm MIA. I reconnected with my ex, and we're trying to work things out.
A few weeks later.
Yeah,
Oh
he
my
was like,
goodness.
he's like, oh, I'm really sorry. It happened really fast. I didn't want to disappoint you. Da 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 da.
Did you say, dude, you're wasting your
to
time?
disappoint you.
No.
I mean, you're wasting your time.
I know.
Go try it out with your ex
in
again.
my head, I was like, the ex. But then in my head also, I was like, you know what? I'm not even ready for a relationship anyways.
Right.
Because that's what I told him. I told him, hey, I'm in love with you, but I'm not ready for a relationship. That's what I told him, basically.
Okay.
I was like, you know, like, let's reassess in like 6 months. You know. So I was like, you know, I'm not even ready for a relationship. So I'm like, you know, that's okay if he wants,
Right.
if he has stuff to deal with. But my heart was just crushed. I was like, all day bawling my eyes out. Okay. Yeah.
So what lesson did you learn from that? Or was there? Maybe there was no lessons. I don't know.
Oh my God.
At this point, let go.
Okay.
Like,
a good
let go,
lesson.
you know, like, we can't be too certain, you know? And, like, I have to just, like, let go and trust that if he's the one for me, then we'll be together.
Right.
If not, maybe this girl is the one for him, then that's great, you know?
Right.
Maybe there's someone else for me. But for me, like, let go and be open to whoever your, what I would call my divine masculine partner is, you know?
Wow.
My
Divine masculine partner.
I love that term. Divine.
I mean, I need a man who's in his
partner.
power, in his, like, God mode, you know?
Wow.
Yeah. So, let
Okay,
go.
so the
I'm letting
lesson is
go.
Let go. I
Okay.
don't know.
I'm trying to think of it.
Your biggest heart.
What was your
For
biggest
me,
heartbreak?
I think my biggest heartbreak. So that was my last relationship before my current husband. I say current as if there's going to be another one. I mean, as I'm saying it,
Let
I'm
go,
like,
be
wait a minute.
open.
Hopefully he's the first and the last husband, okay? But my previous relationship, that ended, you know, and that was quite a heartbreak because I thought for sure that was
He was the one.
Yeah, like I would have bet my life on it, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? I was so sure. So that was a tough one. And I think my biggest lesson, two things. One, you can't like expect that how can I say this? Your happiness is from within. I thought like being with this person will make
Brings
me
you
happy.
happiness.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was one of the biggest lessons. And the other one was don't ever put anyone on a pedestal.
Oh.
Like that was like a rude awakening. Like, wait a minute. I had like when I was out of the whole, because it's like a drug, right? When you're in love, you're thoughts are clouded and everything. So once I was out of it, I had purged the relationship. I was able to see things more clearly. And I'm like, he really wasn't that great. Why did I put up with this? And why did I think that? And,
Right.
and I realized I had this man on a pedestal. And I'm like, my God, my girlfriends must have been laughing at me behind my back. Because I remember telling them, like, he's so perfect. He's just so amazing. And he's like,
my
and like,
God.
I was like infatuated.
Head over heels.
Yeah.
Aw.
So I learned after that to.
He broke up with you? Or you broke up with him? Or it was mutual?
No, he broke up with me. And, and that was the other thing. That was the first time in my life
You've
that I
been
was
like dumped.
I was like, what? I was like, this cannot be, So at first, like for the longest time, I was like, he'll be back. He'll be back. I thought for sure. And then the day, because we were fighting a lot towards the end. And I was like, stop messing with me. Like, if you want this to end, just have it end. And he was like, all right, I think this should end. And I was like,
He was like, fine, it's over.
yeah, that's it. But
That's
he
so
was
funny.
like, but he didn't say because he said, okay, fine, yeah, I think this should end. But then after that, he was always like, I need to find myself.
Yeah.
I need to figure things out. The BS, the typical BS. But it dragged on for a long time. So he was keeping me
Like just
kind
there
of like
in the gray zone.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Like after I was like, never again. You either want to be with me or you don't. Like,
You don't wanna-
he kept me lingering for
Oh,
quite some time,
really?
and that made it even harder for me to get over it, right?
Right.
Because he always like made it look like maybe we were gonna get back together. So that was like part of the issue, and because I thought he was so perfect, I'm
You let
like,
it happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would just wait, and then I kept thinking like, I'm never gonna find anyone better than him,
This is the
Wish I
African guy?
did.
This is the African
Wish I did. Okay.
Wow.
Let the
course.
record state that.
He was replaced.
Yes, he was replaced. And I have
Replaceable.
upgraded.
to the left.
Bye.
Wow.
But yeah, he was on a pedestal, and that's something I should not do.
Man, I'm trying to think of mine. So I've always been the one who broke up with them.
Yeah.
But I think like my last relationship, although I knew I didn't want to be in it, I held on to him because I felt like I had power over
Okay.
him, and I felt like once I saw like him diminishing as a man, unfortunately that's what happened.
Wow.
I felt so bad that I wanted him back, and then that's when he put his foot down.
Out of guilt.
Yeah, out of guilt.
Right.
And then like I tried it again, and then I was just like, this isn't for me. And then I wore him down again, and then like he finally put his foot down, Olivier, and was just like, this is over. And I was just like, and that's when I was like shook up and stuff like that. And he was like this. I was married. This marriage is like, but I feel like, I guess what I would have learned from that is not to be so selfish. I was
Okay.
so into myself and what I needed from
Really?
him, and like I knew that he could give me things that I wanted when I wanted it, like, and I was so selfish, and I was just like wearing this poor man down,
Right.
and he gets so low, and then out of guilt I would be like, no, okay, let me,
But
like,
I love you.
I love you, yeah, but I knew I didn't love him like that, and like, and I'd be like, but I can make this work because like he's such a good man, and then like you start playing house again, and then it's just like, I don't want to be in this, and I wear him down again. I feel like I was just so selfish in that relationship. I need to, and I feel like from that relationship, I've learned to be more selfless.
Right.
It's not about me.
But
Yeah.
was it your biggest heartbreak though? Because that naughty guy like
I was never
dumped you.
heartbroken,
Okay, so we're the
You've
same.
never been heartbroken.
but that was the hardest that I've.
Okay.
That's like the worst that's ever. I was heartbroken. No,
Mm-hmm.
I would say like
Well,
it
'cause
was
you also
weird.
lost
Like
a
it was.
friendship.
It was. I was
Were you
heartbroken
there?
from
In your
the
life for a long
friendship. Yeah,
time.
Was she
Right.
heartbroken?
but not from like
think-
the. It was.
I don't know if she was heartbroken. I think
Yeah.
you were scared.
I was scared
Yes, I
Yeah.
think you were scared because that person had been part of your life for,
for so long,
Yeah.
like a solid 10,
Right.
10 years.
Right. So I
Yeah.
think in that sense,
And he
but-
wasn't a bad person.
right.
He was
And,
a good
and
person.
I had all these. I met people like, and they were like in these relationships, and their husbands were like horrible.
Right.
And I was comparing my marriage to them, and I was just like, well, I can't keep on complaining. Like, I don't have it that bad, this and that, whatever. But like, I wasn't. It was different, but I was hurt
Right.
because when I realized, and I always told her, like, I feel like we could have been really good friends.
Yes.
Like, he was like a really good friend,
Right.
but like it was too much for him. So he was just all like, I can't have you in my life,
Okay.
and that's what hurt.
Wow.
That like he would no longer be in my life.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you?
I was never heartbroken. Never, 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 never. You know, like the classic you see in movies where the girl has her Kleenex box right there and she's eating ice cream and she's crying. Never happened to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Never,
No.
never, ever. This being said, I think it's more like that kind of daddy issues where my dad wasn't there, so to me it was like no man will ever break my heart.
Okay.
And that was my statement from
Yeah.
my everyday statement.
Okay.
You know,
But have you
like-
been broken hearted by something else? Like, you don't have to be heartbroken by a guy. It could be
No, it could
something-
be like my
an
girlfriends
experience breaking
like
you.
had broke
Yeah.
my heart more than a man did.
Your girlfriends, you said.
Okay.
Like girlfriends,
Like
like
losing
meaning
girlfriends,
like losing a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Right.
I would say like it was more hurtful, let's say, to like breaking up in a relationship or passing through a breakup.
Yeah.
Because I truly think that a breakup is, I don't like the word breakup. I find it's very heavy. It's just like, okay, we're just
Moving on.
Right.
To me, that was it. But I think in this current relationship that I have right now, if we would have to split for any reason, that would be a real
Okay.
deal for me. That would be my first
Heartbreak.
heartbreak because I
Which
know.
hopefully won't happen.
Yeah.
Let's, you know,
Yeah,
we just
first
like-
that.
out there.
Knock on the head.
But never happened to me, guys. Never.
Good for you.
Okay. Well, is there
Yes.
lessons maybe that you've learned just from relationships ending? Maybe you
I
didn't
think
even-
moving on in relationship is that don't hang in there.
Right.
Yeah.
I
It's so
find that
hurtful.
because sometimes because we feel alone because we see our other girlfriends going with their boyfriends and you feel like texting him back and just like you know what you're doing do not do
Yeah.
that. I see a
Yeah.
lot of girls do that
Why is that
Just-
bad?
because it never ends.
Okay.
If you're texting him and if you like a bit like you were saying, Gia, I mean, if that guy you would have told them, it's over. I mean,
He would have been able to move on with his life.
exactly.
I agree.
Yeah.
So you always pull him like back in,
'Cause I
and
knew
he
I
would
could, yeah.
he couldn't
Yeah.
be yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's when you're moving on, and you just wish him the best.
Right. I agree. Well, see, I was on the receiving end of that.
Okay.
Right. He like kind of kept me
But
in.
it's not
And
cool,
it's
man.
No,
cruel,
it's not.
Actually, it's pretty mean
not
because
cool
like,
at
you're keeping
all.
people
Yeah.
from moving forward.
You have to like let it be. You don't want to be with
It's
me.
so
it's
hard
fine.
because it's so familiar. And like
I
you're just like
know,
you're
I
like
know.
well, we were married, so for me it was just like down south you don't just like quit a marriage, right? So like my grandmother and grandfather, my parents, like, you don't do this, you gotta stick it out, like good or bad. And I was just like, but I don't want to. I don't want to have to like deal with this. So, but it is wrong. It is wrong what I did, and I do see that like I would never want to be that person that was
You
like
understand exactly.
like
Right.
cool. And I feel like in this relationship, if it ever happened, Minso probably would be able to do that to me because
That's it.
I'm so in love, right?
Yeah.
Like he could, and I don't want to put anyone through that pain
Right.
It's really
or be
painful.
put through that, right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And I remember like when I would start to get over it, and it would have been a few days, a few weeks that I hadn't heard from him, and I was starting to be okay with that. Then all of a sudden, I'd get that phone call.
That's it. All
And
the
you
time.
answer-
And it just takes
All the
that
time.
one damn phone call, and you're right back in.
Yeah, it's so messed up.
That's why you
Yeah.
just have to like let the person be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let them go.
them
Sometimes you
go.
have to be brutal. I feel
I
like
know,
you
I
have to be
know.
brutal.
But
I
it's
had
tough to
an
be
ex-
brutal with somebody you married. I mean,
Right, no, for sure.
Yeah.
When you're married, it's
You know,
Oh,
different.
he got brutal.
Oh, and yeah,
Oh,
he
he
had
like
to.
he was like, these are the papers. We're gonna go sign. I was like, ah. Do you remember when that happened? I was like, he pulled out the papers. She's like, no. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, because I was always telling him like, oh, try
Yeah.
to work things out and stuff. She was like, I can't. Like he's done.
He like got to the point where he was like,
oh
this
really?
is
He was
over.
fed up.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
well, I
yes.
moved out. I had my own place. Like I because I knew it, and like when I was moving out, I remember, I was like, his mom is a Mexican woman who moved here, and like he's from Quebec City, and his mom was basically like, never really talked to me in English. She was only French.
Yeah.
And I feel like this was the thing that was just like, oh, hell no. She got on her, she started talking to me in English, like on her knees, like, don't leave him, Drea, he loves you. And I was like, bitch, you speak English? Do you remember me telling you that? I was like, she speaks English. I was so mad because I was just like, it wasn't even the fact that like I learned French when I moved here because like they're super like Quebecois, like it's like you know what I mean. So I had to learn it, but there were things that would have been so much easier for me.
Of course.
Well, yeah, you would have felt like she's trying to include you in the family.
That was
by
like
making the
so
effort.
good.
So
And
she was
for me,
only speaking
I was
to you in French.
shook up for like the
And she
longest.
started to speak to you in English. I'm shocked.
At the end of the
at the end of it,
relationship,
like
yes.
begging me, and I was like,
Dude.
You speak English.
"You speak English?"
Oh my goodness.
She was like, "Yes, I did it." I was,
You're like, I
was
can't
like,
even hear
I
you
started
right
taking
now.
his stuff out my box, and I was like, "He's not coming to this apartment." And like I moved out. Yeah,
You're like, you and your mama.
can go. 10 years. 10 years. She never spoke English to me.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, so you were with him 10 years.
Never a word of English.
Whoa.
You guys were really young too.
Yeah,
For
but
sure.
never a word of English.
So weird.
That's so funny. Oh my goodness. Well, the lessons that we learn with these relationships, but I feel like all of, the heartbreaks, the bad relationships, the good relationship, everything, at least in my case, I feel like it was all necessary. And I learned so much more about being independent and finding my own happiness from that heartbreak.
Absolutely.
That now I'm actually grateful for it.
Right.
And I told my husband that when we met, I'm like, you would not have liked the me of like 5 years ago. Like you came into my life at the right time for this to work.
Right.
Yes,
You know?
yes.
And he felt the same way. He too was at a point where he's like,
Yeah.
yes, now was the
Now
right
you-
time for
yeah,
me.
I'm ready.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Wow.
So everything happens when it's supposed to.
I think we learn how to like detach our identity from a relationship. I think when we're younger, we identify who we are so much with the person that
Yeah,
we're
you're
with.
so infatuated.
So when
Yeah.
we break up, we're like, whoa,
What am I?
Wait
what
a
do I
minute.
do? Like,
Yes.
who am I? And I think that's like the
Right.
big lesson. Like, you're not your relationship.
Oh my God.
You know what?
Praise the Lord. You're not really, you're a
Thank
relationship.
God. Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
God.
Some people are, but
Some people
well,
still are. Some
I
people
think-
haven't learned the lesson yet. That's what it is.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? Amen to no more heartbreak. I hope no one ever
Yes.
experiences
No,
that.
no
ever.
heartbreak.
No heartbreak.
Please
out
knock on
there.
wood.
Yes.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Cheers to that.
And cheers to that. There you go. Cheers.
Here, cheers to that.
I think it's
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Yes.
In the eyes.
In the eye.